So from this slide we have understood what exactly is database management system is. So database management system is contains information about particular enterprise. So for that particular enterprise we are having the information which is having the collection of interrelated data and set a program to access those data, and it also provide an environment that is both convenient and efficient to use. Then we have to understand what is a file system. So before database management system comes into the picture, we are storing our information by using the file system. So file system is a technique of arranging the files in a storage medium like hard disk, pen drive and DVD. It helps you to organize data and allows easy to retrieval of the file when are required. It mostly consists of different types of files like MP3, MP4, text, documents, etc. documents that are grouped into the directories. A file system enables you to handle way of reading and writing data to storage medium. It is directly installed into the computer with the operating system such as Windows and Linux. A file system enables you to handle the way of reading, writing data to the storage medium. It directly installed into the computer with the operating system such as Windows, Linux. It is unstructured data and not defined data type. So this is information about the file system. Suppose if you want to understand the file system, we will go example wise. So the file system means each and every operating system is having their own file system for keeping information about the storage. So in on my computer, when we click, we are having this drive C, D, E, F. So we have created this drive for our information. So this is the one type of file system. The Windows is having FAT16, FAT32, NTFS. These are the renowned file system of Windows. Suppose if you are having the Linux operating system, then extended operating ext file system is there. So the file system manages the information of your computer and which is directly placed on the hard disk, and this information look like this. Suppose this is your files and you have placed on this D drive, okay, and you are organizing your drive according to your information. Suppose there is one folder 2020, so I kept all the files related to the year 2020. Okay, so all these are files related to the 2020. So in the file system we are having the files, and for storing the related file into one group we are creating the folders. We are creating subfolders, folder into the folder for getting the extra information, or we are storing the related information. Suppose this file is having the online teaching learning, so file is academic monitoring. Practical exam setup is having final year oral examination mark sheet. So in this way we are having our information or our file. So this type of is called the file system. So basic disadvantage of file system is that this is unstructured data. This file does not have any data type, or we are keeping our information, we are putting our information in the D drive, E drive, F drive or C drive. So there is no rules and regulations for keeping your information. Suppose any user we want this file in the E drive, so that user put that file in the E drive. Suppose anyone want I want to put the information in the F drive, so that user can put that information into the F drive. But the thing is happen according to this. Suppose I am the owner of this computer, I know F drive is for what purpose, E drive is what purpose, and D drive is what purpose. On the C++ project, suppose what are the information is there. So I have the knowledge about my computer. Okay. So anyone ask me to find out bank statement. So I know where I stored the bank statement. I will jump onto this D drive and bank statement, and I will get the bank statements details from this particular file. But suppose if another person will sit on this particular computer, and then anyone says, so I need a bank statement of that particular user. So first of all, that user don't know where previous user have stored that bank statement. Okay, so he will start from the C drive. So he will find out the bank statement, then D, then E, then F. So it will take some times. Otherwise, he will search that information from this search bar, bank statement. Okay, and clicking on the search button. So it will take some time. So because of this unstructured way, it will take some time to extract your information. Okay. So there is only one folder. So that's why we will get the information. Right now we are getting the bank statement from the F drive, but I need the bank statement from the D drive. So for each and every drive, I have to run the search. Okay. Then we will get this information. So for every searching, we have to write down the new program. So this is one difficulty in the file system. Okay. So once again we will read what is a file system. A file system is a technique of arranging the file in a storage medium like hard disk, pen drive or DVD. It helps to organize the data and allow easy retrieval of file when they are required. So whatever the operating system you are having, that operating system is have their own file system for indexing your file, and because of that indexing you will easily retrieve your file, but it is slower than the database management system. It mostly consists of different types of files like MP3, MP4, text, document, etc. You can store any types of the file and that are grouped into the directories. So file system enables you to handle the way of reading and writing data to the storage medium. It will provide one system. By using that system you can handle the reading and writing of the data from the storage medium. It is directly installed into the operating system such as Windows or the Linux. A file system enables you to handle the way of reading and writing data to the storage medium. Okay. It is directly installed into the computer with the operating system such as Windows and the Linux. It is unstructured data and not defined the data type. The features of the file system, it helps you to store data in a group of files. Data are dependent on each other. C or C++ and COBOL languages were used to design the file system. Share file system support, so you can share your file from one computer to the another computer, and fast file system recovery. So these are the some advantages of the file system. These are the some information from where you will get the extra information about the file system. This is the one video. Then this Guru99 is one website where we will get the difference between the file system and the DBMS. Okay. Then here is the difference between the DBMS and the file system. Okay, file system is a software that manages and organizes the files into the storage medium. It controls how data is stored and retrieved. In the DBMS is a software application. It is used for accessing, creating and managing the data. In DBMS we are managing all these contents, but there is one software to manage all these things. In the file system there is no one middleman to manage your storage or retrieval. We are directly putting our information on the hard disk, and when we are using the DBMS software, at that time that DBMS software is one middleman who takes the responsibility for managing your data, or that takes the responsibility of managing your files. Okay, that files or that information is not directly putting on the hard disk. That information, the system is put on the hard disk by using these database system softwares. The file system provides the details of the data representation and the storage of the data. DBMS gives the abstract view of the data that hides the details. So this is the one basic difference. Whatever the files we are having on the file system, they are open to all, but by using DBMS we are providing the abstract view of your data. The DBMS software will decide how much of contents will display of that particular users, or what extent to that we are viewing the data to that particular user. Then third one is storing and retrieving of data cannot done efficiently in a file system. So there are some restrictions for storing and retrieving data in the file system. DBMS is efficient to use as there are wide variety of methods to store and retrieve data. There are n number of methods are available for storing and retrieving your data from the database management system. It does not offer data recovery processes. Once you delete, you cannot recover your data, but DBMS provides the backup recovery for the data in the DBMS. So you go through this file system and DBMS comparison, you will get additional information about the file system and DBMS. Then next point is purpose of database system. So what is the purpose of this database system? So next point is drawback of using file system to store the data. Suppose what are the drawbacks or what are the disadvantages when we storing our data in the file system? The system store permanent record in various files and need a different application program to extract record from and add a record to the appropriate files. So suppose whenever you want to extract the record from your file, at that time you have to write down the separate program. Suppose if you having number of songs on your D drive and you want to play all the songs. Suppose if you are having the 100 songs, you require the 100 programs to play that 100 files. If you want to add a new record, if you want to add a new one song on that particular drive, you will require one more program to add that record on that particular place. So for extracting your data, for storing your data, you require each and every time a new program. So this is a very tedious task. So for each and every new record, you require a new program. But in the DBMS, it is this thing is not happen. Once you create your software, once you create your application, there is no need to write a program for a new entry, for the addition also and for the deletion also. Once you return one prototype, by using that prototype you can insert, you can delete your data. Okay. So first disadvantage is data redundancy and inconsistency. So keep remember these points. data redundancy and inconsistency. Redundancy means duplication, inconsistency means there is some inconsistency in your document. So multiple file formats, duplication of information in a different file. So the example of redundancy is like that. Suppose there is one mall. In that mall there are different departments. The first department is they are having the information of the customers for sending their deliveries, or suppose another example is like this. Student has taken admission into the college. They are having their information in the account department also. The student is having their information in their department. Student is having their information in the library. Okay, so the student is one but having the 3 times of information. Okay, so this is the redundancy. The student name is redundant in the account department, in their department, in the library department. Okay, so we have to avoid this redundancy. Once we registered the student, from that center place everyone can access the name of that particular student. So there is no need to rewrite the name of the student. Okay. Then second is difficulty in accessing data. Need to write a new program to carry out each new task. As I said previously, for suppose if you want to store your new record, at that time you require the new program. Suppose if you want to access record from the database, at that time you require the new program. So this is one major difficulty in file system. Then data isolation, multiple files and the format. So we cannot isolate our data because of this multiple files and the format. So your audio files is having MP3. This is a different format. Again the MP4. This is a different format. So we cannot isolate your files from the MP3 and from the MP4. This is one example. Then integrity problem, integrity constraints become buried in a program code rather than being started explicitly. Integrity means there are some rules and regulations. So example wise, suppose if you have opened bank account in a bank and they are having a rule, your account balance should be greater than 0. Okay, so we have to follow that rule. So when the user want to withdraw all the amount from their bank, at that time each and every transaction we have to check. When the user withdraw the amount, that should not be less than 0, account balance less than 0 or it is equal to 0. When suppose if you are having the 500 rupees in your account and you are withdrawing the 500, means your account balance will be 0. So this transaction is not possible. At that time you have to send one message to your user. This transaction is not possible because the balance will be 0 after your transaction. So such type of integrity constraints it is not possible to apply it on the file system. Hard to add new constraints or change existing ones. Suppose if you apply the constraints on that particular file, you cannot edit that constraint that applies for that particular file. But in the database management system, you can add different constraints at the different level. The next drawback is atomicity of update. Failure may leave database in an inconsistent state with the partial update carried out. For example, transfer of funds from one account to the another account should complete or not happen at all. So this is the best example of atomicity. Atomicity means automatically your account should be updated. Suppose you want to send some money from account A to account B. Okay, when you transfer money, suppose if you want to transfer the 500 rupees from A to B, at that time what should be happen? When you transfer, its transfer should be complete. Suppose A minus 500 and it would be plus at B side. Okay, but whenever the transaction is going on, suppose the light has gone, at that time what happened? It will deduct from the A, but it cannot be added to B. So this is called the inconsistent state. Okay, so this type of inconsistency should not be happen. Whenever the light has come, at that time it might be revert to A or it will shifted to B. This is called the atomicity. Okay, but when we use the file system, this atomicity is not possible. It will lost in between that, or you have to manually you have to adjust the transaction manually. Okay, so this is the one biggest drawback of the file system. Concurrent access by the multiple user. Concurrent access needed for performance. Suppose 10 result is out, 10 class result is out, at that time so many students will go to see their results. So concurrently we are accessing that result. At that time that server should not be crashed. So we have to design our system is like that. At one time the number of user can see their results. So this is called the concurrent access. This concurrent access is possible in the database management system, but suppose that result is placed by using the file system, at that time it is not possible to concurrent access. So first of all I have to log in. Unless and until I do not log out, no other person can enter into the system. So there is a parallel it is a serial logging in the file system. Uncontrolled concurrent access can be lead inconsistency. The two people reading a balance and updating it at the same time, it is not possible. So there is a one account, one person is reading their balance and another person updating at the same time, means he might be adding some amount or he might be withdrawing some amount at the same time. It is not possible. So the same account is handled by the two person at that particular one time. At that time, unless and until the first person is not logged out from their system, the another one is in the queue form. Okay, then security problem, hard to provide user access to the sum but not all the data. So in the file system we cannot provide the security, because once you log into your computer, your drives might be visible to all the users. But in database management system we can avoid the public access. So first of all you have to provide your username and password, then and then you can log into the system and you can see the files from that particular database system. Database system offers solution to all the above problems. So the question is like that: write down the purpose of database management system. You have to write down the same points, or the question is like that: what are the disadvantages of the file system? At that time also you have to write down the same points. Okay. Then levels of abstraction.